Good day! This is Christine Sicadron of BSBA 4A and my topic is Big Branches in our OD Family Tree. This is the continuation report of Miss Canila. Kurt Lewin, the grandfather of OD CA 1946. Anyone who has ever authored the words feedback or action research or group dynamics or self-managed work teams or force field has been impacted by Kurt Lewin. Known today as grandfather of applied behavioral science, Lewin, a Berlin-educated Polish Jew majoring in psychology, left Nazi-dominated Germany for the United States in 1933 saying, "I will not teach in a country where my daughter cannot be a student." This practical way of thinking about real-world situations led him to create his revolutionary conceptual models for human behavior. As he was fond saying, there is nothing so useful as good theory. This is because a theory allows one to see what is happening in a new ways. Self-managed work teams, CA 1939. The Lewin-oriented consultants hypothesize that motivation alone does not suffice to lead to change. This link is provided by people making decisions that affect them. His conclusion, a simple process like decision making which takes only a few moments is able to affect workers' conduct for a long time. The making of a decision seems to have a freezing effect, which is partly due to the individual's tendency to stick to his decisions, and partly due to her wanting to be part of the commitment of the group. The Housewives Experiment. Another important Lewin experiment was with U.S. military during World War II. The government was interested in trying to get housewives to use what were euphemistically called variety meals rather than prime cuts, since there was meat shortage and the best meat was needed for soldiers overseas. In this research project, there were two groups made up housewives. First group heard lectures, while second group attended a group discussion. The follow-up research, however, found that the discussion method, which allowed people to voice their resistance, had actually lowered the resistance and had been more effective than simple telling approach in generating long-term change in the housewives' attitude and behavior. Lewin's notion of the field of forces and how to reduce resistance by surfacing and accepting it was proven once again. Wilfred Ruprecht Bion, The Tavistock Method, 1948. While Lewin was working in America, on the other side of the Atlantic, British psychiatrist named Wilfred Bion was responding to the fallout of World War II. Bion was asked by London's Tavistock Institute to work with traumatized and shell-shocked soldiers from the battlefield. There were too many to treat individually, so Bion brought them together into groups. His intention was to move around the group, working with one veteran at a time, while the group basically observed and supported non-verbally. In this process, he, like Lewin, discovered the power of the group. The soldiers couldn't sit still while Bion worked with someone else, and they spontaneously began to share their experiences, reaching out to their buddies. As they helped each other, they were also learning from each other, not just from Bion, the psychiatrist and authority figure. Bion began to see how leaders conduct themselves creates predictable responses from those they are leading. Douglas MacGregor, Theory X and Y, 1954. It was Douglas MacGregor, a young faculty member in psychology, who enticed Lewin to come to MIT in 1946 to create Research Center for Group Dynamics. MacGregor, an industrial relations manager during World War II, found in Lewin the theoretical base for his work in solving labor management problems. Like Lewin, MacGregor liked the real, rough, and tumble world of the workplace, and by attaching the center to the School of Engineering, the two of them were able to avoid many of the constrictions and traditional paradigms they would have faced. They joined the School of the Academic Psychology. MacGregor is best known for his Theory X and Theory Y management model, which asserts that there are two diametrically opposed worldviews available to managers, which result in completely different workplace results. You may know the essence of his theory, you may not know the source. Just as Lewin's lifelong fascinations with the geometric processes grow out of his early experiences in and around Hitler's top-down Nazism, MacGregor model has its roots in his own family origin. Theory X managers hold the assumption about human nature that people are by nature lazy, greedy, and self-centered and must be tightly watched and controlled from the outside in order to get the best work out of them. Theory Y managers believe that people are by nature predisposed to want to dwell, to make a contribution, and to learn and grow, and only need a sense of direction and support in the form of feedback and coaching to manage themselves to do their best. Frederick Hertzberg, 1959, took MacGregor's theories to the next level and made the distinction between satisfiers, pay benefits, working conditions, which can never motivate, only dissatisfy if they are not sufficiently present, and true motivators, recognition, achievement, responsible, learning from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Barry Johnson, author of Polarity Management 1996, would see this as a clear polarity to be managed, not an either or. Both theory X and Y assumptions are present in most of us. Often in conflict, it is now widely believed that there is a time for telling people to what to do, temporarily accepting dependency, and there is a time for supporting independence and self-motivation. The trick is learning as much as we can about both polarities in ourselves if we want to work effectively with a wide range of others. MacGregor receives our deepest appreciation for making the other pole of polarity so clear and defensible. What is the difference about OD? Our OD grandparents, Taylor, Lewin, Bion, and MacGregor, handed this fundamental truth down to us, each in his own way. Finding out what is actually happening, research, and why it is happening, getting all the data on the table, where it is seen and discussed in a safe environment, has the power to change the people and systems. Action. It is the principle that differentiates the field of OD from other efforts to help or fix social systems. Every subsequent OD theoretical model, exercise, and or practices engage clients in participative reflection on the processes governing what is happening. What OD subsequent generations, now elders themselves, have done, what they have received follows now. That's all. Thank you.